Becky, Paul Manafort officially pleading guilty here at U.S. District Court to 2 criminal charges, and prosecutors saying that he is willing to cooperate with the Mueller investigation as part of that plea deal. Now, this hearing lasted for about an hour, and Manafort's attorney spoke briefly to reporters after it was over.
Tough day for Mr. Manafort, but he's accepted responsibility, and he wanted to make sure that his family was able to remain safe and live a good life. He's accepted responsibility, and this is for conduct that dates back many years, and everybody should remember that.
Now, the judge in this case said that Manafort could be facing 5 years in prison for each of the criminal convictions, but his maximum sentence ranges from between 17 to 22 years. He's also facing up to $400,000 in fines and has agreed to give up several New York properties, including an apartment at Trump Tower. Now, Manafort is in custody. There was some debate over whether he might show up in a jumpsuit today. He did get to wear a business suit for the proceedings, white shirt, purple tie, and guys, he kept a calm and expressionless demeanor throughout the proceedings, even as he officially entered in that guilty plea. His attorneys are due back here in court in about 60 days for a status update. Back over to you.
Thank you very much, Ylan. Appreciate it. Let's get over to Eamon Javers now at the White House. The president's team releasing a statement on the Manafort plea and the market reacting to new reports about the president and tariffs with China. Hi, Eamon.
Yeah, that's right. We're getting statements now both from the president's legal team and from the White House spokesperson. Here's what Rudy Giuliani, the president's lawyer, has to say about all this. He says, once again, an investigation has concluded with a plea having nothing to do with President Trump or the Trump campaign. The reason: the president did nothing wrong. Sarah Huckabee Sanders also issuing a statement a few moments ago saying this had absolutely nothing to do with the president or his victorious 2016 presidential campaign. It is totally unrelated. Meanwhile, separately, we're getting these wire reports that the president appears to have suggested to aides that he would like to move forward with the $200 billion in tariffs against China that had been pending here, going through the USTR process over the past several weeks and months. Now, let's review the bidding as to where we stand in terms of this China tariff process. There's $50 billion of tariffs that are in effect right now. Back on June 18th, the president directed the USTR to identify $200 billion in Chinese goods that would be subjected to those additional tariffs. On July 10th, the U.S. Trade Representative initiated that process, and then back on September 6th, just a few days ago, the comment period ended. Now they are sorting through those comments and then figuring out what action they're going to take. The president could announce the new tariffs at any time if he so chooses. Even if the paperwork is not entirely complete, he could give us a sense of where he's going on this. We haven't had that yet, so everybody here sort of on pins and needles to find out whether the president's going to move forward with the tariffs and when he might announce it. Back over to you.
And so, Eamon, the talks, apparently embryonic talks, are going to continue between the U.S. side and the Chinese side, even as they move forward on a separate track on these tariffs.
Well, that's right. There was a lot of tea leaf reading earlier in the week when we had those reports that there were talks between the Chinese side and the U.S. side that were going to be led by Steven Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary. A lot of folks sort of saw that and said, well, aha, it must be the case that they're pushing off the tariff announcement while these talks continue. But it's at least possible, theoretically, that they could do the tariffs and talk at the same time. That would remove a lot of the White House's leverage, so you'd think they might not want to do that. But anything's possible here. Very fluid situation, a lot of moving parts.